And we are back again. It's your friendly neighborhood film watchers. It's Frankly Football. I am your humble host, Brandon. I got my man, 100 Grand, set it off, Chris, with me. And we are back with part two, talking about this Tampa Bay offense against the Cowboys defense. We are previewing week one. Chris, it feels like it took too long for us to get here, Chris. It took
No,
too long.
I think more importantly, it took the right amount of time because you're making this gumbo and
Mm-hmm.
you don't want to rush it. If you cooking a brisket, you don't want
Mm-hmm.
to rush it. You got to have the temperature low and let that thing cook all the way through. And so
Mm-hmm.
I think what's happened, we're right on time, and I think we're going to be able to unleash this Dallas Cowboy defense on the world on a Sunday night at 8:30, where everybody gets to put all their eyes on it. Because Thursday night, you thought that the 85 Bears was playing on TV the way the whole world came back Friday morning and looked at the Buffalo Bills like, oh my God, they're amazing. Boom, 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 boom. And so I'm turning around saying, okay, the team had 47 sacks and, they kind of got, they had big double digit wins, but they lost to Jacksonville or somebody crazy like that. So I'm like, who are these guys? So I'm looking right now to be able to have unleashed or revealed onto the NFL landscape this 2022 Dallas Cowboy defense. And man, it starts up front, man. And we've talked about it all week, man. We talked about the last 2 weeks. This defensive line that they're going to roll out is going to probably be the biggest surprise of guys that nobody knows about. This defense gave up 4.5 yards of rush last year inside.
Yes.
And I think the additions of a healthy Neville Gallimore to a full offseason of Odighizuwa and the emergence of Quentin Bohanna is going to make a big, big difference for that interior defensive line.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. Especially because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, their offensive line is hurt, Chris.
Yep.
They have barely managed to scrape their way through the past few weeks and months.
Right.
So they of course lost their center,
Ryan Jensen.
Ryan Jensen.
Ryan
There we go.
Jensen. Absolutely. Yeah.
Amazing center.
Yes.
Amazing
Very
center.
good. Very good.
Um,
Yes.
Top five center, if I must say so, but
Right.
out for the season. Their left guard, Stenny, Aaron Stenny. He's gone for the year.
Right.
So they have to place a rookie in his situation.
They got a rookie guard.
We know how that feels. We know, but we drafted our guy to be a star. So that kind of is what it is.
Okay. Okay.
And then they didn't they bring somebody over from New England?
They brought a guard from over from New England, which is a very, very good player. He's going to step in. So the interior and the way you look at getting disruption or causing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to stutter and sputter is to get Thomas Edward Patrick Brady's eye level down. And if you can cause problems in the interior, if you can get push and get people around him, that causes his eyes to not to be so much upfield but down, and that's when you have an opportunity. So I think the inside with those three, including Tristan Hill, being able to do that and mixing different combinations and rushing from A and B gap, which is something that Micah Parsons does extremely well.
Yes.
I think that's going to be a huge advantage for us. Outside, they got Tristan Wirfs, first round draft pick last year, very, very good player. And you got the other tackle's name. What's his name over there for them?
So not Tristan Wirfs, but Donovan Smith.
Donovan Smith. So you got pretty decent at the tackle level. So I think D Law is going to be able to do what he does. I definitely think the combination of Dante Fowler and Dorrance Armstrong, which most people want to kick Dorrance off the ledge, but I think he's going to be this. I think the try hard and just relentlessness of Sam Williams, if he plays, is going to be a key factor. So I think we got the defensive line is going to be huge. I think that's going to be a huge advantage for us.
Is it a hot take? Is it a hot take if I think that Sam Williams should come out and be the starter on play one opposite DeMarcus Lawrence? Is that really a hot take?
Yeah, that's an extremely hot take
I
because
don't
I
think
don't
so.
think.
I don't
Okay,
think
tell
so
me why.
because
Tell me why.
I think that with the Buccaneers line being depleted, I think that's the word that I'm going to use. I like the flavor of it. With the
Okay.
Buccaneers line
Okay.
being depleted, Sam Williams offers a relentlessness, a
Mm-hmm.
speed, a fury, a rage
Mm.
that I think that a quarterback that doesn't have wheels on his side, like Tom
Mm-hmm.
Brady does,
Mm-hmm.
having that opposite DeMarcus Lawrence, who is an extremely technically savvy edge, along
Mm-hmm.
with Micah Parsons doing things that he does, which is wreak havoc and destruction on
Okay.
offensive players.
Okay.
Um, Having that athleticism that Sam Williams brings, I think would be excellent. I think
I
that would bring more than what Dorrance could bring,
I think
especially early.
I I I don't agree with that, and I'm gonna tell you why I don't agree with that. I truly believe Sam's athleticism and motor is going to be an factor down the line. But here's the one thing that Dorrance has that Sam doesn't have: a tool bag. Dorrance has got a few things in this tool bag. Dante Fowler has a very good tool bag. So
Absolutely.
I think if I'm starting out, and I can mix and match guys from both sides. Yeah, Sam's going to get in the game, but I want to be able to have the ability, or if I want to move to the left side, put a Dante Fowler over there, or put Dorrance Armstrong on the left side because he can't play left, and then put Dante Fowler on the right and let him go and do his thing. I think that helps. I'm not saying Sam doesn't suit. I'm not saying Sam doesn't get snaps, but I don't believe that I'm going to make him a starter out gate over Dorrance Armstrong. I think Dorrance Armstrong is a lot better than most of us give him credit for. We most football fans, we like the shiny new toy.
Of course.
Sam's Williams is the shiny new toy, and he is going to be a very, very good addition for us. I just think game one, coming out against this team, and when you have to keep that team under 24 to maybe 30 points, I want to go with my guys who's been in this defense for multiple years and know what they're doing. And they
Well,
can get after
Chris,
them. Okay.
since you mentioned
Ah,
keeping a team to under 24 to 30 points, let's talk about the Buccaneers points. The
okay.
last time that these two teams have played, opening day in 2021, I believe it
Yeah.
was September 9th.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were led by a sledding wolf pack of Antonio Brown, Rob
Right.
Gronkowski, and
Right.
Chris Godwin.
Absolutely.
Antonio Brown had 5 receptions on 7 targets for 121 yards and a TUD.
Okay.
Rob Gronkowski had 8 targets, all 8 of them reined in for 90 yards and 2 of them things. And
Mm.
Chris Godwin, oh God Almighty, had 13 targets, caught 9 of them for 105 yards and a touchdown. That was
He also had a
all of
good.
their scores. Are
Yeah.
any
He
of
also had a
those
fumble, didn't
players
he? Didn't he
playing?
have a? Did he have a fumble as well? I think. Or
I believe
no?
so. I
Yeah, I think he
possibly
did.
yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. And he
That's the
lost it.
fourth.
And he
That's the
lost it.
fourth. Yeah, that's the fourth turnover. We were trying to figure that out earlier. I remember
Yes.
that.
Now, AB and Gronk are no longer on this team.
Okay.
Godwin may not play. He's a game time decision.
Okay.
All of their points may not be on the field.
From last year.
Absolutely. And Mike Evans is still looking for the key to the clamps that Diggs
Yes.
placed on him.
Yeah, he's still on the island. Diggs Island is still a thing, baby. It's still a
Absolutely.
thing. So you're looking at a football team with a depleted offensive line,
Yes.
weapons removed, weapons removed, and a
Tombstone.
questionable. Yeah, yeah,
Tombstone.
yeah. Tombstone, and then you got questionable running game. Sounds like the team they're playing against. It's like they're almost mirrored. The thing about it is that when you look at Tampa's wide receiving core, they got pelts, they got skins on the wall. You know,
Absolutely.
Mike Evans is a dynamic wide receiver, but like you said, he's going up against his kryptonite, which is Trayvon Diggs, saying that Trayvon likes big, tall receivers. The
Mm-hmm.
quick, shifty guys, that may not be his forte, but a big receiver, he that's right in his wheelhouse. But then you go against the opposite side where you've got Quintaris Jones, because I'm not disrespectful like some people in the world. I ain't calling that dude by his street name, calling him by his government name. I think he's going up against a guy who is going to lead, who's going to be who has been, I'm sorry, just a stalwart in Anthony Brown. And I think Anthony Brown is made to play Quintaris. I think this version of Quintaris is right in Anthony Brown's wheelhouse. He's slower. He's still physical. Anthony Brown is still cat quick, and I think that's going to be right in his wheelhouse. I think their advantage would try to be in the slot, but Jay Lou is going to be coming back. And if Jay Lou can't play, the darling of the camp, DeRon Bland, probably going to suit up. And I think DeRon Bland has got his own set of handcuffs. So I think the advantage, where we're saying the Cowboys wide receiver core is unproven, I think the Cowboys secondary puts the ability to give this defensive line more time.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Gives them more time. And that's the last thing, that you want to be able to do is give this defensive line more time to make Brady have to get the ball out quicker.
Absolutely. I 100% agree with you. I think that if you compare the two secondaries, obviously the Cowboys are much more threatening.
Formidable. Yeah, far more
formidable. Yeah. I like that word.
Yeah.
So the Cowboys have a solid duo in the form of Trevon Diggs and Anthony Brown. DeRon Bland has been a camp darling, like you said.
Yes.
What's the over-under of him possibly seeing some meaningful action? Jordan Lewis has been very, very serviceable as a slot corner. Now here's where things may get very concerning, Chris. We need to know whether Jaron Kearse is going to play.
Right. Jaron Kearse is the quarterback of this defense. Him being able to have the green dot on his helmet to be able to put people in different places, as well as have the ability to come down and play big nickel, gives you the ability to say, okay, I'm going to put this person here, and he can come down and play in that linebacker position. Him being injured on the injury report about his neck, that is huge. And because what it ends up doing is you have to decide who you want to give the green dot to. And, me and you talked about it briefly. If J-Ron's not on the field, who do you give it to? Do you give it to LVE? So if I give it to LVE, then I kind of limit what I can do in certain areas. Because if I put LVE in the middle, then what do I do with Micah? Do I have Brillo or Jabril Cox on the field, or do I have Anthony Barr here? So, Jaron Kearse not being able to suit up and play this game is going to be tough because you're going to have to flip the green dot from different guys. It's going to go LVE, or if it's going to go Donovan Wilson, or is it going to go Anthony Barr, or is it going to go Jabril Cox? It's a lot for somebody to try to figure out and see what they're seeing, and that's probably the biggest disadvantage we have with him maybe being out for tomorrow's game.
I 100% agree. I think that if it came down to choosing between LVE and Jabril Cox, you give it to one of those guys and let Micah do his thing, because I don't want him to have to do anything that isn't instinctual. I want him to be the wild animal, the lion roaming the jungle that he is.
Okay, he's the lion. Yeah, because he lives outside. Absolutely.
I want LVE to be able to communicate with the things that he sees. He's an extremely smart player. His body just portrays him sometimes.
He can see it. Like, he can see what he wants to do, and I think he can put people in the right positions. But I think with the addition to this interior defensive line, if LVE is able to stay clean, LVE is an amazing football player. You can get 2018 type of vibes from him. 2018 type of vibes when he's able to stay clean. Yes. And I think that the guys who I'm looking at most, the guys who I want to see make the most noise tomorrow night are my interior guys, because if they can keep it clean, the LVE can run. And if LVE can run, Brillo can run. And if Brillo can run, Micah can run.
Absolutely.
If that happens, that could sign.
Send them home, boys. Send them home, boys.
That's it. That is it. Because if those guys are able to free run and move the way they want to, I think it'll be a tough night for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Absolutely. And I think that those interior linemen have their job kind of cut out for them because of the interior line troubles that the Buccaneers have.
Right.
Missing a guard, being on possibly a third center. I think that their backup center is hurt as well. That makes it easier for Osa and Big Bo.
Yeah.
So when they have to navigate through those trenches, if LVE is on the field, that gives him less trash to have to move through because that's one of his weaknesses. He struggles navigating through trash, in run sets anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jabril Cox, I think that he's great in coverage. If you give him less trash to navigate through, even though he's gotten a bit better at that, but that'll let him cover a bit cleaner. If he's forced to tackle in space, that'll be something that he can do a bit easier. If Anthony Barr for some reason has to get it, then he can do it. The one thing that I don't want to happen, I don't want to give it to a guy like Donovan Wilson. I don't want to give it to Israel Mukuamu. I want their job to be as easy as possible because, I mean, Donovan Wilson was one of those guys who was a darling, but him and Izzy kind of aren't there yet,
Okay. I truly believe, and you're right. You're spot on with that. I think Israel Mukuamu, I think he's good as that fourth safety because it's really between him and Marquise Bell. Yes. I think a lot of us want to see Marquise Bell play that, and if Israel isn't there, it's kind of like the opposite of how people feel about Jalen Tolbert playing and Simi Fehoko playing. Folks think it's a downgrade if Simi Fehoko is playing instead of Jalen Tolbert, but we think it's an advantage if you got Marquise Bell playing and not Izzy Mukuamu because he's been there a whole year. So my drop off from J-Ron is so precipitous. Oh my God, 2 TI words for the day. Hey man, tell you, let a brother get some sleep, man. He can work some vocabulary, but I think that drop off is so huge that I want to be able to make sure that whoever is getting the green dot, if J-Ron's not able to play, is huge. And I pray that whomever they do give it to is service is adequate enough that we give J-Ron the ability, because this is not a sprint. This is a marathon. We're going to talk about our predictions later, that I want him to be 100% healthy going down for the rest of the season. So that's going to be my biggest thing. Who has the green dot for the defense, and as we try to go forward this year, especially in this game.
I definitely agree. And I want guys to have their job be as easy as possible, because I think that one majorly benefiting factor is a lot of these Tampa Bay receivers haven't had much time to work with Brady. He's had some things going on that caused him to not be at camp. He's been on a vacation for a large chunk of camp.
He be trying to keep his family together. He told his wife something different. He ain't no. Hey, what? That's the one thing about Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. He is every man, because every man has had to deal with that. They told their wife something they was gonna do, and then they didn't do it, and they had to deal with it, and they had to tell their boss, "Hey, I gotta go handle my house because this woman about to tear everything up." And I think that's what happened. But not having that time with this team, working, doing what he needs to do, he's no different than anybody else. Even though he's the greatest quarterback that we've ever seen, and probably the greatest quarterback to ever play, he still got to get time on task to do what he has to do. So I think that's going to really be a problem for Tampa going into this game. Him not being he may be great week 2 and 3, but game 1, I think he's going to show his age, and that's going to be huge for us.
Absolutely, I 100% agree. Any other last moment thoughts?
Hey man, listen, this game is kind of set up for us, man. I think our defense is going to be fine. I think it's going to be a very tough game. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game than most people would think, because I think both of these defenses are going to be just outstanding. And I think with the hampered offensive lines on both sides, I think it's going to be who makes that play. And I really believe that this is the moment that Micah Parsons, the Lion, puts his mark on the season, and with the mark of his defense. I mean, you got to think, man. Healthy D-Law, healthy Micah, a guy trying to make a statement with a Dante Fowler, and a hampered offensive line, I'm liking our Cowboy defense to come out on top. So my prediction for this game, for
Let's do it.
game one,
Let's
for
do
the
it.
Dallas Cowboys, it'll be a 27-17 win for the Dallas Cowboys. And they start the season off right, man. Rain is constructing, orchestrating the offense to the point that he's not making a big mistake because he never really does. And we are able to control the flow of the game with our two tight end sets, running the ball with Zeke and Pollard, getting the ball out timely, being able to take our shots when we need to. But I think 27 points is it. And I think this defense is so amazing that they're going to show everybody, hey, we're a problem. We're a force to be reckoned with. We can hold down anybody when we want to hold them down. And so I'm saying 27-17, Dallas Cowboys. Win.
Okay. I think that I am going to be a little bit closer. I am going to say 27-21 Cowboys.
Oh, okay.
27-21 Cowboys. A lot of field goal kicking. That's my prediction.
Okay.
A lot of field goal kicking, especially on the Buccaneers part. I think that the Buccaneers are going to make at least 3 field goals because, as previously stated, they're missing a lot of that time to gel with their wide receiver room. Russell Gage and Julio Jones are supposed to be big parts of this offense, and how much time have they had to really connect with their quarterback? Meanwhile, the Cowboys, they've been together for a large majority of the time. So that's an advantage that they have. Alongside, in my opinion, having the better defense.
So, so help me understand this, man. You got 27-21, right?
Yes.
3 field goals, right?
Yes.
That leaves me with 12 points. So if they score 1 touchdown, right?
Mm-hmm.
What they gonna do? They gonna miss the extra point? What they gonna do? They gonna go for 2 on us? What they gonna do, boss?
They gonna try to go for 2, man. I mean, come on now.
Okay.
Todd Bowles is the head coach, and here's the thing that is not talked about, because we didn't talk about this a lot. Micah Parsons dropped back in coverage 31 times in 2021.
Okay.
That is a pressure and honestly a know-how that wasn't really didn't come together because that was Micah's first game. Micah Parsons knows his job now.
Okay.
Let me get on my soapbox. Micah Parsons knows his job now.
All right.
So,
all right.
Tom Brady got he gonna have he got to get some straightening. Tom Brady got to get some straightening this time around.
Okay.
Because he may not need the coaching acumen that Bruce Arians provided as well, but I can guarantee you the rest of those guys do. Tristan Wirfs does. That rookie who they were forced to start at guard because Aaron Stinney is no longer there. He could have benefited from Bruce Arians being the head coach. All of the rest of their Cameron Brate, seeing as how Rob Gronkowski isn't there, he could have benefited from Bruce Arians being the head coach. They've had a downgraded coaching as well. Don't get me wrong. I love Todd Bowles because he looks like me.
Yeah, I got you.
But it is a downgrade at coaching. So Tom Brady got to get some straightening. All right.
Okay. So what you're basically saying, in a nutshell, what you've said, you're saying, so Arians being an offensive coach, Bowles being the defensive coach, that puts more of the advantage towards Dallas.
Yeah.
Because you're letting Byron Leftwich and Tom Brady run the offense.
Yeah.
Tom not being there for 11 to 12 days puts it to the point they're kind of not gelling well.
Absolutely.
So I'm the reason I'm saying the 21 points, that's why I said 17. I don't think they've had enough time on task to get to 21 points, and that's where my advantage is. So I watch. I would
love it if I were wrong. Because if I'm wrong, that means the score is lower. If I'm wrong,
so that's what I'm saying. I'm just watching what. Right, I just watched what the Rams did on Thursday night, and you had the problem with Stafford. Who people had questions about who was better than who. Stafford with a bad elbow, couldn't really do certain things. I think Tom not being in the building with his guys, doing what he did 2 years ago by being with his guys on task, I think that puts the advantage towards Dallas's defense. They know and like you said, beautifully. They know their job, but they also know, man, you're going to get from the 31 to maybe 11. That's
Mm-hmm.
20 times Micah Parsons is coming forward. And Micah Parsons coming forward is a problem for any offense. So I'm with you on that. I just don't see him scoring 21 points. I see this defense being a top 5 defense in points allowed. I don't care about yards. I care about points allowed because you don't lose games for people having so many yards. You lose games when you don't have more points. And that's why I believe that this defense is better. We keep them under 20 points. We keep them around 17. And that gives us the advantage with our offense with our guys being not as highly touted.
Yes.
Right? But being more of a problem that you got to run all night. You got to remember this first game of the season, and the defensive guys aren't, as we can say, as in football shape as they will be in week 3 and week 4.
Absolutely.
You follow me? So they got to chase and run after guys that the Cowboys are going to put out there with the Turpins, with the Pollards, with the Elliots, and they got to run around like that. I think that's our advantage.
Absolutely.
And our defense is ready to run around. These guys ready to go, ready to get after it. You got Micah, saying in press, man, I'm tired of hitting my guys. I'm ready to hit somebody else. That's
gotta hit somebody else in the face, man. Got to.
I got to put somebody else in the face. So we got our game 1 predictions. Mm-hmm. Tell me what you think about this season, man. 20 are we at 26 years? 26 years and counting without being in the NFC? 26 years. Me and you've been doing this will be our 3rd season together.
Yes.
So give me what your prediction is, brother, and I'll rebut and we'll go from there.
So I think that the Cowboys at this point in time are still an 11-win team. I think that they've suffered some injuries, like most teams have. Michael Gallup needing to recover, hopefully faster than normal. Definitely want that to be the case. Losing Tyron, it was inevitable. But we would have hoped that it wouldn't have happened. That's just one of those things that happens. The optimistic Cowboy fan in us, just wanted it to be later rather than sooner.
Right.
So I think that this team right now is an 11 to 12 win team.
Okay. So you're saying 11 and 6, 12 and 4.
12 and 5.
12 and 5. I'm sorry, 12
yes.
and 5. Okay. 11, 6, 12 and 5. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. And so where do you see them getting to at the end of the year? Where do you see this ends at? Or this is a Super Bowl contender? Where do you see this ending? Give it to me. Be honest with me now.
As it stands right now, it really depends on who makes it out of the NFC. Because as we just saw on Thursday, the Rams are not the team that they were. Free agency, them losing guys like Whitworth, guys like Von Miller, guys like Odell Beckham hurt them.
Okay.
So it all depends on who makes it out of the NFC, who gels the best. Because Matt Stafford and A-Rob did not look to be on the same page. So it is very hard to predict that right now. I think that we can definitely win the division, but as far as trips into the playoffs, very hard to predict that right now because a lot of these teams are very different than they were a year ago. San Francisco, the team that bounced us out, different quarterback.
Okay.
All right. So definitely hard to predict.
Okay, so we're looking at right now. My prediction is I'm right along the lines with you. But I'm a little bit more optimistic than you.
Yeah.
I'm looking at
be the annoying and crazy and optimistic Cowboys fans, Chris. Tell them to stop us. If they don't like it, tell them to stop us, Chris.
I always go back to the number one thing that we talked about time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
If I got a top tier quarterback, I'm in it.
Yeah.
If I have a running game that I think is going to be better, or have the ability to have a running game, I think I got a chance. And if I've got at least 2 weapons offensively on the outside, I think I can win. So I think for us, looking at the landscape, this might be the first time in a long time If I don't hit my goal of 12-5, 13-4, that's right, 12-5, 13-4, I can make it as a wild card team, and I might be the most dangerous wild card team in the pack. Let me explain why I feel that. I'm gonna tell you why I feel that way. Because if I turn around, if I can get Michael Gallup towards the end of the season, playing like the Michael Gallup of 2021 and 2019, that Michael Gallup, coupled with CeeDee Lamb getting the opportunity, because the one thing we keep saying, can CeeDee Lamb be a number one? I truly believe he can be a number one. Amari Cooper says he can be a number one. I think he has the talent to do it. I think he's not going to demand double bracketing coverage out the gate where everybody thinks it is. I think he's going to have to prove he can be that guy, and I believe he can. But I also think with Dalton Schultz being a top 5 tight end in the league, argue me all you want to. You name me 4 better, I'll sit here and wait on it. I think he gives us that security blanket. Because if you look at other teams in the past, you've looked at Aaron Rodgers going there with 1 wide receiver, a tight end, and a running game, and the defense, and win football games.
Yeah.
You watch Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr. That year they won the Super Bowl. Yeah, he had all these other different weapons, but he had a running game, a tight end, and a defense, and he won football games. You look at last year, you look at the Rams. The Rams had damn near no running game because that's what they showed up with on Thursday night. They had 1 wide receiver. They had a defense, right? They had 2 wide receivers, but they didn't get that other guy till late in the season.
Yeah.
So I'm just to the point with San Francisco: running game, defense, tight end, right? So if that's the formula, I've got all the ingredients to my formula. I just believe my quarterback is just as good, if not better, than the other guys he's got to deal with. Okay, he's the best quarterback in my division. Let's just go and get that out the way.
Easy take.
Easy take. He's number. If I put him in NFC North, he's right under Rodgers, right? Because he's better than other guys that are over there. He's better than Goff. He's better than Justin Fields, who I love, and he's better than Kirk Cousins, right? So then if I go to NFC South, he's better than Jameis, right? He's right underneath Brady, right? I'm not trusting Mariota in Atlanta. And daggone Baker Mayfield, man, get your whole ass out of here, man. Come on, man. I'm not even going with that. And then out in the West, he's just as good as Stafford. Lance is unproven. Kyler Murray got problems. And who else is out there? Boom, boom, boom. Who else? Lance, Stafford, Kyler Murray in Arizona, Stafford with the Rams, Kyler Murray with Arizona, and Seattle. And man, come on, man. Seattle's playing for the first. Seattle's quarterback is playing today. He's playing on Saturday. So my whole point is right now, I think I can go 12-5, 13-4, and I see me having the opportunity to play in the NFC Championship game. Everything work out right, I play in the NFC Championship game. And as long as I can get off the snot in the NFC Championship game, that's all that really matters to me. I get to the playoffs, back-to-back seasons, which we haven't done since Chan Gailey. And I get to the NFC Championship game. And if I fight hard, get to the end, hey, I'm good to go. I ain't got to change my coaching staff. Probably maybe get a new offensive line coach. Add some additions in the draft. Maybe another tackle. Maybe another guard. And I'm ready to walk in
and ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, ride off into the sunset. So I'm 12-5, 13-4, and NFC Championship. That's where I'm at this year.
If it could all be so easy. But we got 17 weeks of this. 17 weeks, Chris.
We got 20. Dadgummit. I'm looking at 19 to 20. 17 for the regular season. I'm getting 2 playoff games. But yeah, for game one, that's the wrap.
Absolutely.
So you kick in with us, man. You've been here this far. You might think we going crazy. We done lost our mind. We on some DMX stuff. It is what it is. But the one thing that you can handle is that like button. So give us a little bit of free bread in this YouTube currency world, and just hit the like button. Yo, man, if you think what we've said has been on base, something been off, there's a comment box right there. Yo, speak your mind. Say what you got to say, man. But more importantly, if you can share it to your friends and give us an opportunity to get us out here in the algorithm, we greatly appreciate it, man. Listen, man, I am the Robin, and this is my main man because he's Batman, because he can handle it, because he is the Dark Knight that continues to rise, man. And we together make up, frankly, football. And until next time, people.
Peace.